Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, one of the life coaches at QueenBeeing.com. Today we're going to talk about self-gaslighting. What is self-gaslighting? And what are some things you can do to help yourself if you are self-gaslighting? So let's start with what is gaslighting? Gaslighting is when you, like in a nutshell, when someone is manipulating you through undermining you or giving you conflicting information about your experience. They are trying to cause you to make you question the way you think and feel as it relates to reality. So when we're self-gaslighting, what we're doing is that same thing to ourselves again that somebody else did to us. Narcissists gaslight. It's one of their main tactics for manipulating to make you believe them instead of yourself so that you are beneath them and they are controlling you, so that you question your reality and then only their reality becomes the real reality. Well, when you have that happen over and over and over in your life, we become programmed, we become conditioned, we start to self-gaslight ourselves. We start to question our reality, question our decisions, question our experiences, and all of that. It's basically a form of self-sabotage at a certain point, right? We're not doing it on purpose, but it has been conditioned, we've been trained, we now believe that we can't trust ourselves. So hey Christine, so let's go quickly into what's going on. Basically, your inner voice becomes your saboteur. So when you're self-gaslighting, you may have a reaction to something. Someone does something very rude to you. Okay, it's obvious rudeness. All right, and you react to it, and then afterwards you think, maybe I'm being too sensitive. You think something like, maybe it really wasn't that bad and it was all in my imagination. When it was like, let's just say it was blatant, everyone else could see it too, right? And you start questioning, your inner voice starts telling you, you're crazy. You always think everyone does things to you. You always think this, you're that, you're this, right? And then the other part of your mind is saying, no, I saw it happen. But then the other part of your mind that saw it happen gives way to this saboteur part of your mind, sabotaging your own experience in the situation. You're not crazy if you do this, okay? What has happened is you've been around it. You've been in situations where you've had to have other people do this to you, and you now think this way. You now think this way because you don't trust your own experience anymore. So we're going to get at the end of this. Stay tuned. I mean, this is going to be a short video. So at the end, I will be talking about tips and tricks for trying to start seeing your own reality and trusting it. Okay. So basically what you're doing is you're suppressing and invalidating your thoughts and emotions. You're suppressing your actual thoughts, your actual feelings, your actual emotions, and replacing them with the one that serves everybody else in the world, really. Right? If you're not upset about a rude person, then there's no reaction and everything goes on just tidy and neat, and you just shrink back inside yourself. And instead of shrinking back inside yourself and thinking, well, I really want to say something, but I can't. Sometimes we do that. It's more like, well, I shouldn't, because it's not actually happening the way I see it. We don't trust it. Okay. So, what do I have here? Being gaslit regularly leads to the self-gaslighting. So we talked about that. When you have people your whole life say, telling you your experience isn't real, telling you what to think and feel, telling you that when you think and feel something, you're overreacting. Well, we're going to go into some quotes here in a second of like what you might be thinking, and then, fill in the blanks for your own life, right? So basically, we internalize the manipulation, we internalize the twisted words, and then we minimize our own reaction, and we use it against ourselves. It's not on purpose. We're not trying to hurt ourselves. This is habit. It is patterning. It is conditioning. And it is one of the effects of basically surviving a narcissist. Okay. This is one of the effects of emotional manipulation in your life. So if you know you're doing it, what can you do? Well, let's go to one thing quick, which is talk about a few examples of what it might sound like to you. Been asked to give more examples, so here you go. All right. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe it was not so bad as I thought it was. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe it was me. Maybe it wasn't really them, and maybe they really weren't doing anything. Or maybe I didn't really, maybe the way I'm seeing it isn't how it actually happened. Um, what did I say here? If only I were stronger, if only I were prettier, if only I were smarter, if only I were better, this wouldn't have happened. Um, they didn't really mean it. They didn't really mean it like that. I know I heard it like that, but they didn't mean it like that. Let's see. I'm not really worth the time. I should I should be over it by now. I'm not worth it. I don't deserve anything really anyway, right? Okay, so those are some things you might be telling yourself when you're self-gaslighting. So, real quick here, I have short time today, so I'm just going to go right into it. We're going to talk about how to help. Okay. You're doing this to fit the external narrative. What that means is you're doing this to fit the gaslighting that's been in your life before and make it match on the inside of your own head because it's what you're used to. You're trying to, or you're doing this in order to prove the world won't do this to you. And when it does do it to you, you say, see, I'm not worth anything. We get all mixed up on how to have self-worth and how to self-validate. You're basically invalidating yourself when you're self-gaslighting. And that is something we need to now work. Unfortunately, we get left with the work, okay, after toxic relationships. We just do. And so we now need to work to change our own patterning in this. Okay. So one thing you need, what that helps is, okay, so you notice that what I'm saying here, if you're in situations where people are treating you badly and then you're questioning yourself and you're the one self-gaslighting, start learning to choose your influences better. Start learning to walk away and have better boundaries around people who treat you badly so that you're not in situations where you're set up to self-gaslight. Does that make sense? So if you can, and it's really, we have to be really careful because when we've been around people who have gaslit us and where we've been around narcissists and toxic people in our life, we really easily slip into the conditioning when we're around it. We also are very sensitive to we're mostly pretty empathic people and we're very sensitive to those around us. We're trying to keep balance. We're trying to keep peace. We're trying to keep harmony, whatever, right? And so when we're around people who are difficult, when we're around people who are toxic, when we're around situations that are, I mean, I'm not saying don't go into challenging situations. That's just life. But don't deliberately, we have to watch that we don't deliberately put ourselves around toxic people. You got toxic friends, don't hang out with them. If you meet someone and you question some red flags, not worth the time. Okay? Because otherwise you're going to be back in the loop of the gaslighting, which is going to further enhance your own self-gaslighting. So we have to be careful we're around positive people who don't do this to themselves or others. And that way we're under the influence of something that shows us a better way of relating to ourselves. So, okay. So number one thing here, when you catch it, don't judge it. We need to get curious about these things. We need to get curious about the habits and conditioning and programming that has happened to us so that we know where we're at and then we know how to work with it. If we get mad, if we judge it, if we say, oh, I did it again, I'm so stupid, I keep gaslighting, oh my gosh, I'm such an idiot, I keep gaslighting myself, or whatever form it takes in your own head, then you've just defeated the purpose of working through it. And you've gone right into from self-gaslighting into self-devaluing. All right. So let's just push that aside and understand we're on a path of healing. We're not just going to boom, he be healed and like magically have it go away and be better. So get curious about it. In other words, get curious about what you yourself are doing to gaslight yourself, what you yourself are saying to yourself, and find some compassion like you would for any other human being. In fact, you have more compassion for the narcissist in your life half the time than you do yourself. And they're the ones doing toxic things. So stop doing toxic things to yourself, okay? And give yourself all the compassion you would give any other human being. See yourself as worthy of that compassion simply because you are, okay? You don't need a reason, Right now, it's not a matter of like, you gotta worth and then you can work on this stuff. Let's just push that aside for a minute and just stop judging our reactions to ourselves. It's really hard. And I know I'm saying it like, we'll just do it. I understand. Okay. I've been there, am there, go there all the time myself. So this is not something I don't work with alone on my own. Of course I do. So here we go. Compassion for yourself, no judging, curiosity. And when you hear yourself judging, say, where's my curiosity? So anything to change the dialogue in your head at that point, because you can see what's happening. Self-gaslighting, self-sabotaging, that leads down the path of self-devaluing and giving up. Okay, we can't surrender to this. We have to rise above it and for ourselves. Okay, so then now that you've done this, take a breath, ground yourself in the present time, whatever that means for you. There are so many exercises. Just look up exercises for mindfulness, or do an exercise like looking around your space and finding things of a certain color or a certain shape. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice temperature of the air. Notice the world around you. Kind of get out of your head, if so to speak, and get into your body and get into the present time. Be in the moment. All right. There's so many tips and tricks for that, and I can give more later, but those are some simple ones. Just find a way to be present to the present moment, and then ask yourself some questions. Okay. Once you're present and you're like, okay, I've been self-gaslighting. I just told myself that this horrible exchange with this other person was my fault, when all I did was walk up and say, hey, do you know what time it is? Or whatever, something simple. Actually, it wasn't my fault. And we're going to go into one more thing after, and that is when maybe you do need to take accountability. Okay, so before we do that, question it. Am I self-gaslighting here? Am I attacking myself and putting myself down, minimizing my reaction, invalidating myself, my emotions, my feelings, my reality? And if you are, ask yourself, how has this helped me to survive my past? Has this helped me at all to survive my past? If it has, in what way? See, what you might find is this is a survival technique in order to diffuse somebody else gaslighting you. So if whatever you find for yourself there, however you answer that question, maybe you don't have an answer. Okay, and that's okay. Another question you might ask is, does this actually serve my life right now? Is this making my day better? Is this making the situation better? And if it is, question the situation. If self-gaslighting is making the situation better, you may be around a manipulator. Okay. Where do I notice this experience in this body? How do you notice it in your body? Where do you find the tension? Your body holds memory. Your body holds trauma. Your body holds experience. I would guess if you're feeling it somewhere in your body, like maybe your stomach or wherever, that you've felt it there before. So a lot of people don't have an awareness of their body's reaction to traumatic experiences or triggers or anything like that. So get familiar with it, because it can really help you move that energy out of yourself once you're aware of where it is. So what I like to do when I find it in my body is take a few breaths and just pretend my air coming in is going to that place. So if I'm tense in my shoulders, I take a breath in, and as I exhale, pretend the air, the oxygen is flowing into the shoulders, and then drop them and relax them. Just 2 or 3 breaths. Okay. Just to notice, catch it, and tell your body, hey, I got you. I feel what you're doing for me there. Mine is my toes. I like to crumple them up. And then I get tendonitis in my feet, and I'm like, why do my feet hurt? Oh, I've been stressed this week. Okay. So you see, and if I were paying attention, I would have caught it and relaxed them and not made my body pay the price, and also not taught my body to do something that then sends a signal to my brain that something's really wrong. Because that's what happens. We get tensions in our body from triggers and traumas. When we get tension, it sends a signal to the brain of fight, flight, something's wrong. And then that sends a signal back to the body that then it's like a back and forth circuit that then makes your mind get trapped and locked in that trigger or that experience. So that's why it's important to relax. It's not just because it feels better. It actually overall holistically is better. Okay. Then the last thing here is how in this moment, so you've gone through, has this helped me before? Is this working for me now? Where am I feeling it in my body? And then the last question you might ask is how can, in this moment, I be more self-compassionate, more self-loving, and what the heck do I need? What do I need right now? What do I need? Do I need to be validated? Do I need to be heard? Do I need to express myself? Do I need to journal this? Do I need to let go of the guilt? Why am I guilty over having a reaction to someone who was crappy to me? You know, do I need to hear myself say it's okay? Do I need to hear myself say that was exactly what happened? Whatever it is, kind of give it to yourself in that moment, as long as it's, you know, sane, safe, and legal, right? Yeah. So this is a tricky thing, and I think most of us do it and struggle with it. So I'm going to end here, keep this short, and I will be back next week with more live streams and more videos. So if you don't know who I am Lise Colucci, one of the life coaches at QueenBeeing.com. If you've not hit subscribe to this channel, please do so. Hit the thumbs up on the videos if you like them. And let me know any thoughts you have in the main comments of every video. I will reply to you. And if you have anything you want me to talk about or any further things to say about a video, let me know. I sometimes make follow-up videos to go along with them if that helps people. So I guess that's it for now. If you want texting notification of my going live, text me at 33222 and hit LISELIVE. Hit LISELIVE. Put LISELIVE. LISELIVE. One word, as one word really, and then hit send. That was a really long way of saying that. Sorry. I'm racing the clock. All right. I think that's it. I think that's all the business, and I'll see you guys next week. And hello to everyone that joined me at the last minute here. My quick sending of notification to you. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.